Okay, I would like to call to order the Village of Lansing Planning Board meeting for Monday, October 13th, to order at 7 PM. Look at
Oh,
that.
my gosh.
Really.
Overtime.
We do have a full agenda tonight, and there's quite a few things to discuss, so I really do want to try to keep the side discussions and everything focused on the items that we do have on the agenda. Also, since there are actually quite a few people online, just a reminder to keep the shuffling of papers to a minimum as we can, to not interfere with the folks who are online, and that I know it's kind of hard to hear sometimes, so. And we are still having a problem with the big camera up on the wall, so for those of you online, I apologize that you have to only see some of us and not everybody at the board table, but when there are presentations up at the easel, we'll turn the camera so you can at least see the person presenting. With that, the first item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. We do have one set of minutes, that's for September 30th, 2025.
I only have edits. If Lisa didn't get a chance,
I didn't have a chance.
I mean, you might better,
Yeah, just postpone until the next meeting, or?
if you want to.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, so we will, we'll wait one more meeting to give folks time to chime in that haven't already, so. Next item on the agenda is the public comment period. This is an opportunity for anyone from the public, either in person or online, to bring up something that's not already on the agenda for this evening.
Mike?
Oh, I saw Carla unmute. Go ahead.
Hi, Carla Marceau. I'm here as an observer for the community party.
Hey, Carla.
Hi, Carolyn Greenwald. I just wanted to remind everybody that Election Day is coming up on November 4th, and that village residents are also town residents. And there are 2 town board seats that are up for re-election, and also your legislative district as well. So please don't forget to vote on November 4th.
Great, thanks, Carolyn.
Is it the 4th or the 5th?
Oh, I don't know. Okay. The 4th, all right. Yes, you were correct. I'm sure somebody online would have said something if we were off a day. So, okay, hearing no other comments from anyone online or in person, I will entertain a motion to close the public comment period.
To close the public comment period?
Motion by Lisa. I'll second. Second by Jim, all in favor? Aye. Next item on the agenda is 11 Graham Road West, informal discussion. Chris Fiallo, Senior Vice President of Unisys Development, would like to discuss a possible tenant layout for 11 Graham Road West, tax parcel number 47.1-1-17.13. Mike is going to, Chris, turn the camera just so folks online can see the easel. Yep. And obviously folks here can see the easel. If there is anyone from the public who wants to get a better view, you're welcome to kind of rotate around behind Kevin or anything like that,
So I have hard copies of all of this, so if you'd like to confirm you.
I think that we all have hard copies of it. Hasn't changed, has it, Mike?
What you may not have,
Somewhere. Okay. Copies, Dylan?
there's gonna be.
Oh, wait a minute. Was that my, oh, I'm sorry. I passed, I thought it was just multiple sheets.
So there's 3 sheets in each package.
Okay. They're coming. Come on, get your soul.
There you go. Mike, anything that you wanted to bring up before Chris picks it off, or?
Nope, it's all Chris. This is an informal discussion. If things work out properly and Chris is able to apply for a special permit, you may very well be seeing him with some of these changes we'll be talking about tonight at the meeting at the end of the month, possibly.
Yeah, thank you. So I know I was here before a while ago, and I think everybody else Everybody was here.
Maybe not Kevin.
Kevin might be new.
Okay, there was somebody in your seat.
Yes, there was.
So again, 3-acre parcel in front of Target. You know, it's been there for a while. We've got the former Chinese buffet that's on there. The building is in tough shape. The goal is to, you know, redevelop this whole parcel, bring something to the community, which my goal has been food. There are other things that I know that, you know, we talked about here. It's just not my specialty. So what I'm working on here, and this is, again, as Mike said, it's a little bit more of an update. These 3 acres are divided into 2 parcels. This is where I'm starting right now. Here's my second one. I went ahead, I have a second, we've discussed this first parcel. I've got a second deal. I've got 2 deals that I'm working to bring here. I'm not nearly as far along here as I am here, but I'm trying to keep you updated where we are, you know, where I am going forward, so you can see how this potentially could lay out. So this is a tenant that I've been working with, which is a quick serve restaurant. This is the layout that we're contemplating, how the traffic flow would come in. Move around for, you know, we've got the drive-through here. I will say that I'm gonna make one change. Ultimately, the way this drive-through moved around, I fell off of the parcel. I've got to get the whole thing into the parcel. I'm working on that design change. It's not gonna change much. We're just gonna squeeze it over to make sure that this restaurant stays on this one parcel. The other thing that was an ask last time I was here was green space, places for the community. I'm trying to incorporate, you know, that as much as I can. So I'm showing green space. Again, it may change a little bit as these designs change, but trying to show that I'm listening, and we're gonna, you know, make it look presentable and fit the community, which is the other reason why I handed those out. That's what this prototypical building will look like. So it's one thing that I can show you on a site plan here. Here's what it's gonna look like. Here's a traffic flow. But you kind of want to see what is this building going to look like sitting on Orchard County. So that's what the prototype would look like.
Are you ever going to provide these renderings in daylight rather than dusk?
We can, yeah, we definitely can. I think some artistic person thought it looked better that way, but of course we can do that. And this is just the initial set. This is the actual prototype. We're going to do, once we finalize the site plan and we feel like we're gonna get the approvals we need, we're gonna do a whole set that's actually gonna apply to this. We're gonna do, right, so we'll do elevations of what it will actually look like here. That's their prototype. There certainly will be tweaks for every, not just this site, but for every site that they do.
And Chris, will that show all the landscaping?
Yes.
Like all the shrubbery and what types of trees you're gonna put in and
So it will, but then there's gonna have to be a whole separate planting and shrubbery.
Landscape.
So, yeah, so that'll be part of the special permit application. It's one of the things that we require, yes. Yep.
So it's not gonna show it all in one. It's gonna have to be a few different ones, but 100%.
Okay.
So you say that you have to fit that drive on that first, why do you have to do that if this is one parcel?
It's 2 parcels. So this is one separate parcel, this is.
Oh, I thought this was, so
The
it's,
future, right now it's 1 tax.
I was just.
Right now, right now it is 2 tax parcels, right, yeah.
I
Yes,
was
yeah,
thinking
yep.
there's only one, that's why I asked the question.
So
Oh,
it's
okay.
2, I probably, it's a project, so I probably make it sound, I'd lump it into one. It is absolutely 2 separate taxes.
Oh, okay, that's where I was,
To answer your question, there's 2 reasons why I want to fit it. One, they're each going to pay their own tax bill.
right,
And if they run over, you may need an adjustment, right, I don't.
a pain in the neck, yes.
And 2, from my understanding, and I don't think this is a big deal, and it's not the intent, but I don't want to run afoul of anything. My understanding is I can only have one drive-through on each parcel. And I don't want somebody to look at this and say, wow, you really got two.
Okay, the way the code is right now, you can't have any drive-through, but we are under discussion for that.
Yeah, Chris is aware of the, yeah.
So, you knew that. Okay, so you're right. I see what you're saying. So, yeah, okay, otherwise you'd have to go for a variance. Okay, so in terms of the parking, this is a lot of impervious surface, it looks like to me. And I'm just wondering, is this the standard number of parking things that we need?
They have, so this one has 45. I probably got 5 to 7 more than I need. But this is the way we've shown it and tried to max, again, the way traffic flows and just making it sure it's safe for pedestrians, this is how we've done it.
Yeah.
Do I need to have these 5? Probably not.
So, as we're talking about that first lot there, I'm sure people are gonna have questions. I would be more inclined to take the 5 that you have at the top there on Trip Hammer Road, closer to Trip Hammer, and eliminate those. One of the things that you'll see as you move up and down this corridor, McDonald's, other places like that, businesses, not all of them, but we're trying to get the parking right, not on Trip Hammer, not on Trip Hammer, but either on the side or behind the building, right? And that also helps with some of the planting plan, right? Not that we have anyone, look at any other businesses here, right? It's not like, oh, we want you to build a wall of trees there so you can't see the place, but it is a good place to provide shade, especially along the walkway and other things there.
So, yeah, at the same.
I would be more inclined to, and I'll have the same comment about the second parcel, but to get those spots, if there's an available reduction or it's not as many as you need, or, again, this is informal, this is preliminary, but as we go and actually figure out that calculation, if there are ones that can be removed, my preference at least, and this is just my opinion, would be to remove the ones closer to Trip Hammer.
And if you can't, then you really, one of the things I still have trouble with the McDonald's is they're coming around at this time of year. If you're driving by and somebody has their brights on in the driveway, it really is a glare suddenly if you're coming just off of certain places and it's dark and it's late at night, because everything else is dimmed down, and then somebody comes through, and so you'll have to buffer that somehow. But, yeah, I'm with you, that.
But just, that's,
If this is all going to be about drive-through, then I don't know, but were some other things that were suggested too about seating and stuff. How much would this building, a building like that, is this approximately, how many people would be seating? Do you know?
I think you.
And 20, 40 or 50 maybe?
Yeah, I think it's between 50 and 60.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
and they do drive a large, so as much as people are on the go grabbing, especially lunchtime, their dining rooms are, people will go, they'll sit, have a 45-minute lunch or whatever. So, the drive-through, it's gonna be active from lunch through dinner, but the dining is more heavily used around lunchtime.
Okay. And then on the Trip Hammer, I mean, where is the sidewalk, is there room for the sidewalk and all that? We have both the tree law and the sidewalk law that we now have to be mindful of.
Yeah, that's interesting. So I'm really aware of that, and we will absolutely have, so there was a new sidewalk done on Graham. We will have it connected in. There's probably going to be sidewalk down here.
It's actually along Trip Hammer that I'm.
So, yeah. I'm trying to think of, so we were looking at that, we're planning. So Chow doesn't have one. I don't know exactly if we do a sidewalk here.
Right?
Not really sure where it leads to.
Well, nowhere yet, but this is all part of, because when Chow's was then, we did not have.
We didn't have a sidewalk law.
And we have since learned that unless we have a code, a sidewalk's not going to happen, but we do now, and so we're working at extending whenever we have the opportunity, and you're an opportunity for us to do that.
And there's some, right, and there, and it is, development by development, obviously, there's the code in there, and there might, there's some places, that it wouldn't make sense, but I think this is right on that corridor, so I think it's gonna be something that we,
I see people walking on
oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
even on that side because they don't cross over,
Yeah, they don't
and it
cross over,
just
so, yeah.
scares me sometimes. It's just not safe.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said, it's a good opportunity to connect it to other things that are there, right, it's that step in the right direction.
Yeah, and again, I remember that from last conversation as well, and we've looked at that, talked about it. This just was, again, here's where we are now.
Right.
Not representing it as the absolute final site plan, but wanted to address some of the concerns that were brought up the first time.
Did you have a comment, Mike?
Kind of on the sidewalk, I'm wondering, and I don't want to dig too deep in this, because we will get too
Yep.
deep, but I'm wondering whether we should think about on that last, can you pull that one out? Not have one on Trip Hammer, we have one on the other side of Trip Hammer. But as you can remember, this parcel over here that Eric had has a sidewalk coming across.
Yes,
Whether we continue this down here, keep them off the main street and run it up, now you're connecting into the sidewalk area, everything's all connected here, instead of having another one up here that's
All the way.
nothing, you already have one across the road.
Yeah, I think all of those are options.
But to have one on both sides of the road when there isn't anything over here at this point, I mean, that's.
but the point is, at this point, we can't just be talking about this year, because I do see people walking on that side of the road in the street, which means they aren't going to go in and out like that. And ultimately, as things move farther that way, which they
There
will,
are other things there that are, yeah.
down to some of the other offices, we will be connecting up.
But again, but the takeaway is sidewalks important to us.
But since you brought that up, because one of the things I struggled with is this is my main entrance.
Right.
Right, we've removed I contemplated asking for something on Trip Hammer, you'll notice it's gone.
No deal, right.
So, but because this is the whole traffic flow, I'm not sure how the sidewalk, certainly I think we need crosswalks, from here going over. I don't know how the pedestrian traffic works when you're funneling all your vehicular traffic in through.
The thing is, anybody on foot's going to come from Trip Hammer and the bus stop, right? By the Y and everything.
I mean, I see, again, not to jump, I see people coming up from the mall, though, too, people
Yes.
coming from the, I mean, I think the entire area there is up for discussion when we get to that level.
In your mall it's gonna be less and less retail, more and more office, which means daytime population, which means people need to have a desire for lunch, places for lunch. So I agree, you're gonna have people coming in
From both directions.
Yeah.
Any other question, anything else you want to share about that kind of first parcel there?
This one?
No, the one to the right.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I've got a couple of tweaks, I was hoping to have this done before tonight, and it just didn't get done in time. But here on the sidewalk, I wanted to show you that we're trying to address the green space. This totally not a big deal to get rid of those. So I'm gonna, again, I'll keep making these revisions. Where my deal stands today, is I think we're pretty much done. I think we've come to agreement on all the terms. Now it's gonna be a battle for timing. So they have certain opening windows that they will open. If I miss, huge penalties. So I'm trying to just really understand the process, how quickly I can get through the town before we,
Village.
start going.
Village. Okay.
Are we just talking about the first parcel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, this is informational. This is, I've got two deals working. This is the deal, this is the actual layout of the deal that I really want. And so I just wanted to show you the way I'm anticipating the whole site flowing. It's, I came in with this was a blank piece of paper. I'm just trying to show you how the whole project will start to come together. I'm not done here. way farther ahead with this one.
So I'll make a couple comments. One, I do appreciate you providing at least vision, even though you don't necessarily know what it is, a vision for, here's what I would like to do on the whole parcel, versus, yeah, I'm gonna do something there later, because that kicks off a whole other set of questions from us.
Yes, it does.
Even if, even if that's your ideal. Again, those parking spots in the front, if you could get rid of them. The other thing, though, I know that you're aware that, obviously you can't have a drive-through on either of these right now, and that's kind of up for discussion. And so I don't know if you've talked to the trustees or been to any of the trustee meetings to see what some of the current proposals that we've offered up, that they've talked about. Nothing's final at all, but there are different options out there about, can you have a drive-through, yes or no, depends on how this is zoned. Can you have more than one drive-through on this, parcel? So there's a whole bunch of stuff up in the air. No idea on what it's gonna settle on yet. Ultimately, it's the trustees' decision. We just, providing some thoughts and feedback to them, but.
Yeah, and I haven't been there personally, I have read.
Okay.
On the meeting, but for me, the big, and again, I don't want to make an assumption and be wrong. I think the way I read it, because they are absolutely two separate tax parcels, I think I'm showing it okay. Again.
Well, so the latest iteration that is up for public hearing includes the one per tax map parcel, but there's 2 additional conditions.
Okay.
Have you seen the latest with the 2 additional conditions?
If I have, I can't tell you.
Okay, it's that proposed that they cannot be on contiguous parcels,
I definitely didn't see that.
and that there has to be a minimum capacity of 60
For seating.
for seating.
Like load capacity
Load
interior.
capacity.
So again, these are, yeah,
That's why when we spoke last, we talked about having a parcel in between the two that could be used, that would take you away from being contiguous.
So.
It would give you some green space possibly to either, 1, have plantings, or 2, a stormwater facility.
Yeah, so,
nothing has been decided on those conditions, by the way. That was just from the last planning board meeting to the trustees. They've discussed it, Carolyn, once.
Well, it's set for a public hearing on the.
It is set for a public hearing, right, but they've had one discussion about it, yeah.
so, let me just tell you what my thinking on that, what I was trying to, when I first came in here, I thought I could do 3. And one of mine was a drive-through only coffee shop, right? And there's one 10 miles from me. I scrapped that. I tried, there's no doubt they're contiguous parcels. I tried to create a separation with the green space. But again, if it's letter of the law, it can't be on 2 contiguous parcels, then obviously that's an issue. And again, I have been also said, this only works for me. This only works for me if I can get both done. The financing and the money just doesn't work if I can only do one.
Sure.
And I say that just being completely transparent and honest, not in any threatening way. I just personally can't do it. But again, I just wanted to give you an update where I am. I think it's going well. It's a great market. I know these guys are going to do extremely well. They're going to be excited to be here. And I know I've got to work within the rules as well, so.
One other question. Water spray. The last time someone came forward with this plan for this parcel was about 10 years ago.
You know.
And I was just wondering about your relationship with Water Sprite.
So it's Water Sprite because I don't own it yet.
Okay,
I am only going to buy it when I know I can do this.
okay,
I think it's in the last meeting. I have expenses that I've incurred to do different things, and I'll lose that money if I can't do it. It's not gonna break me. It's not a ton. But I can't spend millions of dollars on this.
well, I was just curious, because I still have, I don't have the actual plan. I think I finally did manage to part with that after all these years. But I still have the seeker and the application for the building permit. And so I was just quite curious as to,
It's simply Water Sprite because
because Water Sprite still owns it until you take it over.
Correct.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. It's important to me.
Brent has his hand up. Go ahead, Brent. you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know, Chris, if you know
Yeah.
Brent or not.
Hi, Chris. I'm Brent Ross. I'm the acting as the engineering advisement for the planning board. So yeah, Mike mentioned just a moment ago, Mike mentioned it, stormwater management. And I know your plans aren't developed yet, but I don't see knowing the lay of that land, I don't see the west side is the low side, so I don't see much green space there to use as a stormwater feature. Did you have some other option you were looking at?
No, I'm simply not, I'm well aware of the elevation change and how that works. I'm just not there yet, in how we're gonna deal with that. Understanding that it's an issue and it's gonna be dealt with, but I just haven't, had an engineer work on it and figure out how we're gonna do it.
Yeah. I know this is just a informal discussion, so I don't know who your potential restaurants are, but I'll just explain that we've, over the course of a long period of time, found that the McDonald's has had such success at certain times of year during the lunchtime drive-through that they queue all the way back out into the street. And I don't know how many spots that is, but unfortunately, you're not going to be queuing into North Trip Hammer, but it would be something to pay attention to how much lane you have for queuing.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Here's a huge difference between these guys and McDonald's that have been doing. McDonald's hasn't really changed. I know they've got the double drive-through. They don't use the same, they've got a little app. The millions and millions and millions of dollars, they call it drive-through optimization, that these tenants, and some others like them, but specifically these two, have worked into how quick, they will push people through far quicker than McDonald's will. These guys, their staffing and how they staff it, it's amazing. And
So I'm not trying to insinuate anything comparative to, I'm just saying that it'll be something that needs to be, you'll have to explain, or, when it comes time to understand all that we'll be looking at how much queuing space or how much queuing space you need versus, that kind of thing. So, I think those are really my points. I do have some curiosity as to the direction of the traffic flow to the drive-through, but I don't think tonight's the night that we're looking to have all those discussions. But if other than just an introduction, I guess do you know who you would have as a engineering planning consultant?
I believe I do, but I haven't contracted with anybody yet.
I guess just if when you get to that point, if they're interested, I'd be available to have conversations that wouldn't take up the folks here at this meeting's time.
No, I appreciate that, but, and the ones that I'm gonna use have built these all over the place. So,
Okay. Good. All right, that's all I have. Thanks.
Thanks, Brian.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I have a question maybe for Mike, Natalie, about contiguous lots and so let's say the law that's has been noticed is passed and you can't have drive-throughs on contiguous lots. So we divide that center parcel, so now it's 3 parcels. Are there any issues with the drive-through maybe hanging on to the middle parcel or the parking for the lot being on the middle parcel?
That's an interesting question.
I don't think that's the,
I think the local law is that an establishment with a drive-through can only be on one parcel, not necessarily that the drive-through cannot encroach upon the next parcel, though obviously that's not the spirit of
the intent, I was gonna say.
Not that,
Yeah.
right?
But it sounds like you want to try to get that all on,
I do, because I don't like,
but yeah.
I don't like this. So I actually want the flow to come through here, straight
I
down.
would say
There
that
you
would be
go.
a lot
I
cleaner
actually
than,
am
yeah.
concerned about the flow here, but
Yeah.
we won't get into it tonight.
What about, so what about the larger parcel then? If the parking is like it is here, would that be a problem?
Is this parking encroaching on another parcel?
It's not about the parking.
It's not about the.
It's about
So
contiguous.
if the middle parcel is just parking,
So as long as the.
that's not an establishment with, yeah.
The left side, you
So
can
that's
subdivide that.
Shared parking, maybe? Oh, shared parking, do you?
I believe Carolyn is saying if you subdivide parcel, let's call it B.
Yes,
The one
into
not
another.
with Chipotle, into two, and then on the middle parcel only have parking, would that accommodate the non-contiguous parcels? Is that what you're asking?
I guess it would. Legally, it would, but sounds complicated, but
I don't think it sounds that complicated if they're paying the taxes for both parcels.
Yeah, right, they own both parcels.
it would require a rework, but
I would like the opportunity to speak to that, because I don't want to try to play a game.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah.
yeah,
game plan.
I don't either.
Right, so, I'd love the opportunity to maybe come in and speak to that, and how this would work, and the benefit. I don't want the decisions to be made, and then I go back and say, okay, how can I get around that?
Right.
That's not what I'm trying to do.
I
I
appreciate
don't think it's a game, actually, I think that would be fine. I don't see why that would be playing a game.
So it would be, the parking would be in the middle,
parking and
And-
probably
yes.
the entrances, yeah.
actually.
So,
That might be,
yeah.
or would be shared parking, then maybe you'd actually free up some space.
I was gonna say, there might be an opportunity, yeah, there might be some other opportunity
You
there.
could maybe play with the layouts.
Flip
Yeah.
over flip.
Or where, where the building and just where the building on lot, I'm gonna say it, the lot to the left, maybe, where the building is and where the parking associated with that is, there might be some way to play with that, yeah. But, again,
Right. Understood. I hear you.
And there's a public hearing on it, it's not.
It's not set in stone. And the public hearing is what, the 20th? Next week.
Next Monday.
any other questions for Chris?
Hey, Mike,
Yeah,
I'm sorry to, I failed to also mention that although it's not predicted to be problematic, that there is a part of the process, which is you would need to seek your sewer units, or you'd have to calculate how many sewer units you need so that can be taken care of. The Village of Cuba Heights is the issuer of the connection permits, so you'd have to work with the Village of Cuba Heights to get that approved.
and that's standard for anything here in the villages, that's where our sewer units come from, yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Well, we appreciate it, Chris, thanks for coming in again.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, next item on the agenda, put over here, is the public hearing open public hearing for special permit number 2025-4901. Solar Liberty Energy Systems are proposing a residential ground-mounted solar array located at 1483 East Shore Drive, tax parcel number 42.1-1-46.5. The array will offset 100% of the electrical needs for the homeowner. And I know Mike's gonna go and get some so I will entertain a motion to open up the public hearing. Motion by Kevin, second by Lisa, all in favor? Aye. And I'm gonna go fix the camera on Mike's in, so that everybody on see our faces again.
Lucky ducks.
I can change the angle of it, I can focus
I was gonna say, could you kind of get a happier view?
Okay, you there, Mike?
Yes, I am. You hear me okay?
Yes. Do you want to kick us off on this one?
Sure. We have Lindsay on. Lindsay, I apologize. I cannot pronounce your last name. Hopefully, I'd be brutal to it if I did. If you could introduce yourself, I'd appreciate it, please.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening. My name is Lindsay Mavi-Sakalian. I am the project manager at Solar Liberty for this project.
Thank you very much. I'll give you a quick rundown where we're at on this. Lindsay has sent me all of the engineering materials that I need for the actual array itself, all the technical numbers and everything that I need. One of the applications she provided, and you also have there, is the solar application. As per that solar application, this is defined as a tier 2. Basically, you have all of the material. There are a couple items that I'd like to go over with you. One of them is the array itself is it's just under 900 square feet. For the setbacks, this would be considered a principal building, so it changes the setbacks slightly. Another thing that you'll see for setbacks, I provided you with, Mike, can I share the screen here?
Yep, hang on a second. Yep, go for it.
Give me 1 second. Can you see this diagram I have here?
Yes, can you make sure that you zoom in though, as you're pointing stuff out?
Okay. Because this, and we've run into this before, because this property is on the corner, it has 2 front yard setbacks. One will be along here at Autumn Ridge, and the other one will be along here at East Point, or East Shore Drive. The array is in this area. You have all these diagrams in front of you. The array is somewhat in this area. So we're now looking at front yard and side yard setbacks.
No, I never.
Hey, Mike, can you just, because I know some people can't see your mouse moving around, where on the map?
Oh, is that the entrance to?
Right, this area. You've got on your packet, you'll see the same picture.
Yeah, I just couldn't see the mouse moving around, so it's right there on the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah, it's
by the
in this
drive.
area.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything is subject to front yard setbacks and side yard setbacks. In this case, the front yard setback, which would be on the Autumn Ridge side and on the East Shore side, the East Shore side is fine. The Autumn Ridge side requires 40 feet, and they're providing 55.2. So they're 55.2, as you see on your diagram. And the diagram that you want me to pull that diagram up, or do you folks have it in front of you?
Everyone should have, if you open,
That one.
yeah, if you open this one up in the big packet, you'll see a side-by-side of the overview of the house, and then a more kind of blanked out version of where, yep, open that one up. And on the left-hand side of it, you'll see where the array is supposed to be. And it's got the setbacks listed on there. Yep, you've got it.
Picture of the array.
It's in
Oh, yes.
a couple packets down this way.
Yeah, so I'll bring it up here so you can see it a little better. On this side, you have the 55.2, which is fine. Where you're running into an issue where there is going to be a variance needed would be the side yard setback. For this case, you're required to have 25 foot of side yard setback, and they're only providing 2'3". So besides doing the special permit, there's also going to have to be a variance application done for this area for an area variance for this 2'3", which can be handled in the same time that we're kind of handling the special permit. The other part I'd like to talk about would be I provided you with some language from the actual solar law. You'll see that has some highlights on it, and it has big orange X on it.
So that's this one, yeah, you got it.
Yep, I'll pull that up for you also.
And Lindsay, you're lucky enough to be the first one to actually go through the solar law with the planning board, so congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
And everything that goes along with that, congratulations, so.
It's behind, underneath that one.
You see this okay on the screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. You have your standards for your tier 2 solar energy systems. And they're the usual, what you would think it would be. The first standard here would be you need views buffering from adjacent properties using architectural features, earth berms, that kind of stuff. That we're probably going to require anyway. You have one view as you're looking at it now from basically an elevated view. You don't have any side views or anything like that. So we can manage to get some type of screening for this. And I'm sure you'd be talking about buffering in a little bit here. Part 2 has to deal with the commercial solar, which is not relevant here. Part 3, screening and visibility. So tier 2 systems that are over 600 feet shall basically comply with what's below that. This is over 600 feet. So what we're probably going to end up requiring, and I've highlighted here, is at a minimum a line of sight analysis from possibly East Shore Drive and from Autumn Ridge. I doubt very much you'll be able to see the array, but it might be helpful to have a view from that point. On Part B, submit the screening and landscaping plans. This I'm sure you'll talk about with buffering. And I also want to let you know that you do have the right to waive this requirement. So as we go through our discussion here, you'll have to determine that. The last item is also going to, because the special permit we'll have to look at the whole tree law and may have to have a tree analysis or a tree count on the property. But once again, you'll go through all of this and discuss this with Lindsay. And that's about all I have for you, unless you've got some questions for me before discussing this with Lindsay.
Any questions for Mike first?
Mike.
It's been a little while since we looked at this, I know that, but I will say that it is a lot more concise than some of the original versions that we went through.
It could be, no, and it was very helpful to get this letter also from the person.
Yeah, so,
1480.
yeah, which is great, I think maybe it'll help with the BZA, not sure, but either way, they need a variance for that, so. Well, okay, well, Lindsay, we'll let you, actually, before you go, Lindsay, Brent, do you wanna mention anything?
Yeah, there's actually a question for Mike, which probably is a question that I should have asked offline, separate from this particular application, but I guess since we're here, does the solar law for ground mounted have any provision for contemplation of stormwater management?
I'm not sure, Brett, that we even discussed that as far as, runoff, because the arrays were going to be so small. And tier 3, I believe we do mention some type of stormwater plan, because now your surface is going to be, much larger than what we're dealing with at this point.
Okay.
I think that's accurate, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
One question something I did notice, and this is for Lindsay, is that there was, on the application, there was no contractor license number. I assume that that's not an issue.
Yeah, Lindsay.
Lindsay can just provide that.
Yeah, on page 3 of the solar application, Lisa's just pointing out that there's no contractor license number, so is that something, you don't need to provide that to us, but on the actual application to Mike, you'll need to provide that?
Okay, I'll take note of that.
Great. Okay, with that, Lindsay, do you want to tell us whatever you want to tell us?
I think most of it was covered. Really, it's just kind of an awkward lot on the corner there. So this family doesn't have a whole lot of options on where to put this ground mount. So where they're tucking this away, I think it will be with the natural trees and vegetation that is in place. I think that's going to help a lot with the buffering. But I think, and like you said, I think it's really helpful that the neighbor and property owner gave his permission already for the boundary, but I'll go through the steps and the variance application. The one thing I really do want to say is that at the end of this year, the federal tax incentive for residential solar customers is going away. So I'm trying to fast track this as to the best of my ability for this homeowner, so that they don't lose that 30% tax incentive.
Okay.
If there's any way that I can make this go quicker, I'm happy to do so.
Well, the variance is not up to us.
Yep, I was
We
gonna
probably
say,
approve the special permit on condition that the BZA approve the variance,
okay,
Yep,
if it's not done
Yeah.
prior to.
right, so yeah, right, so one of the things, and we have done that before, is we have approved Lindsay special permits. There are conditions that we put on every special permit. There will be conditions on this one as it stands anyway, but one of the things that we have done in the past is, just to get the special permit at least moving along a little bit quicker, is put a condition on there that you do need BZA approval for the variance, because, yeah. So, but Mike can work with you on that chunk of it.
are any trees actually getting taken down at all, Lindsay? Didn't look like, but,
No.
okay,
No.
so there's no tree removal, it's just a matter of determining the tree density.
Do you have a feel, Mike, for just, I'm just looking at, looking at one of the overheads, I mean, the tree density on there doesn't look sparse.
No, I drove out to the site and yeah, you should probably still have a count on it, but if I had to guess, I'd say there was enough units there.
Yeah, okay.
So it looks like we need the tree count and then the sightline pictures.
Sightline picture, and do we need a landscaping plan at all for buffering or not?
I think it depends on the
I think we need
sightlines,
to
right,
kind
how
of see what
those
the
work out.
sightlines look like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Depending on what the sightlines come out at, we might need a buffering plan. Maybe it's fine, maybe it's minimal, but even if it's minimal, we still need a.
And then the contractor license number, I think is important. Yep, okay.
Any other questions?
No, it's pretty straightforward. We got a lot of information I've had, and the fact that the neighbor takes away that whole component is good.
Kevin, did you have any questions for Mike or Lindsay?
No, I think it looks great.
Lorraine?
That's a lot of power.
Jim? Okay. Well, yeah, so Lindsay, make sure you get in touch with Mike. I will say, and I already forgot, we've got one more meeting this month, and then we have one in November and one in December.
Yes.
So prior to the end of the calendar year, the planning board only has 3 more meetings after this evening. Happy 2025.
Oh my gosh.
Mike,
Yeah.
I did have a question, and again, this might be a question for Mike. The application states that the sizing of the arrays is adequate to supply the full need of the full demand of the home.
Yep.
Is that actually a requirement, or is that just information that was
No.
provided?
No, the requirement is actually the opposite there are exceptions to it, but for this, there's actually a limitation. I think we don't want you producing more than 110%, I think is what we settled on.
Yeah.
No, so
That's
100% is fine. Less than that is fine. But yeah, there is a cap on how much you can produce.
So we don't need any kind of proof or
No.
documentation that they're not over 110?
No,
Okay.
I don't,
I think that's part of the reason you want a licensed contractor, to tell you that.
Yeah, Brian, if we were to go over 110, it would jump into a tier 3 at that point.
yeah.
It would be more of a commercial type of yes, it'd be residential, but the commercial type.
Yeah. My question was relative to whether or not we needed any documentation
Right,
from the
yeah.
applicant
Okay. That's
about
a
the
good point.
percentage.
Yeah, well, I guess it doesn't.
Yeah, we can, Mike, we can chat about that. Maybe that is something
Yes.
that we want to get from Lindsay and just historical, I'm sure that they've done, if they're providing 100%, they have to have some analysis of the, average energy use of the home over a past year. So maybe if you want to double check that, just to make sure.
Good
Yeah, I
point,
can-
Brian.
Yeah, I can say that our sales consultants do that in the beginning of the process. That's how they help to size these arrays for our customers.
Oh, great.
Okay, that would make sense, but, okay. Any other questions from anyone else?
No.
Okay, well, Lindsay,
So-
you and Mike, go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna tell Lindsay that I will send her an email tomorrow, and maybe we'll have a phone call or something to make sure we're on the same page for this, for the next meeting.
That sounds great. Thank you so much.
Great, and we'll see you hopefully at the next meeting, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is to review the discrepancy on recorded covenants and restrictions on 16 Cinema Drive. So maybe Lisa and I were the only two here?
I think-
I don't know, so I know,
Tell by looking at the minutes.
yeah. Maybe I missed some of them, yeah.
We'll have,
So for those of you, you've got all the information in your packets, and Natalie will give an update, but this is Cayuga View, so this is the housing there, kind of by CFCU, that area there, so Natalie.
Yep. So I was contacted by the attorney for the owner of Cayuga View to discuss the current restrictions from the special permit that was issued July 28th, 2015. In preparing for that discussion, I asked Mike Scott to send me anything that he had on the file and the restrictions. He sent me a set of declarations and covenants that were unsigned, but in Word version. I then had a discussion with the attorney for Cayuga View, and they provided me with a set of recorded restrictions, which did not match those in the Village of Lansing file. So then we both undertook to review the meeting minutes from July 28th, 2015 to May 25th, 2017, when the restrictions were recorded, to kind of to try to determine what happened and how one set of restrictions got recorded that we didn't have a copy of. And looking through the various meeting minutes, I found maybe 4 meetings that they discussed the restrictions on. The restrictions themselves are not included in the meeting minutes until you get to April 11th, 2016 meeting. So there are discussions about wanting to change certain terms, not liking term 3 seemed to be most at odds, but the actual language that was being discussed was not provided. So I don't know, were you discussing the version that got recorded? There was a set of restrictions that was ultimately approved by the planning board on that April 16th meeting. On page 9, we kind of start that discussion. So what we're now asking, since we cannot tell why, restrictions and covenants approved by the planning board were not actually filed in the clerk's office, and restrictions and covenants that were seemingly not approved by the planning board were recorded in the clerk's office, if we could now undertake to replace and supersede the erroneously recorded version with the version that was approved by the planning board on April 11th, 2016, with obviously some minor revision to clarify that we're rescinding and replacing the previously recorded restrictions, and to clarify that the 10 years runs from the time, I believe, of the final COC.
which was about 10 years ago.
And Mike did locate the final COC today. It was actually not issued until October 2018.
Oh. So we have another
3 years.
3 years. Okay, so it's important to correct it, I guess. Wow. It's just so different from.
So we really could not piece together based on, I looked through David Dubow's records that I could find. They were rather limited on the topic. I assume potentially it's just office error in printing the wrong version to be signed, but who knows?
Well, as I said, what damage has been done, really? The only thing Yeah, when you read what was filed, and it gets into many more things and specifics about if a spouse dies and that sort of thing, which we did not seem to do. Or did I miss it?
Well, there was
In our
discussion
minutes?
about spouse passing in number
But
3, and liking or not liking.
Yes, and we revised apparently, I even said at one point I didn't like number 2, but I didn't find number 2. I was getting confused between numbers and letters.
Because unfortunately, we didn't have a copy of what was being referenced at
Right.
that
Yes.
time.
So, basically.
Did you look through your stuff at home?
No, you know what, I didn't even think that my notebooks, I should have gone back.
Yeah, I have a bookshelf full of,
I know, and here I have all this junk, and I never thought
Yeah.
to look at my notebooks.
I didn't
Still could
think
do
of
that.
Yeah,
Obviously, we need to correct this, I guess, especially if we've got 3 more years to go. Do we want to,
And one thing that I do, in looking at the recorded declarations and covenants, number 5, on the recorded
oh,
version,
okay, that's in here.
deemed a covenant?
declaration running with the land, it's not curtailed to 10 years. So it's not fitting the current condition of the special permit.
Okay,
That would read in perpetuity to me. So and that's not the intent. So I think that is something that would be remedied by recording the correct version.
Yes.
And so does potentially have a negative impact to them if we don't correct the issue.
oh, no, I
don't
think
know
we,
whose issue
I
is of
think
the
we need
making,
to
but yeah.
correct it.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty disturbing on 2 fronts. Number 1, that it happened, and number 2, we can't figure out why.
Yes.
But nevertheless, we shouldn't fix it now.
So I know in a few areas, like, obviously Mike Mosley, who was the code officer at the time, had input. The previous attorney, David Dubow, had some input and suggestions, and they both indicated they're happy with the April 16 meeting.
Right.
So what do we have to vote on then? Oh, one of the
So-
things, though, I would like to know is, so this was supposed to be for 55 and older, and as I recall, what percentage of the building is currently rented and what percent is 55 and older?
Don't know.
I mean, it's still restricted to that, correct?
We want to hear from Jeff.
Because I know that initially there was trouble filling the building, and I didn't know what happened there,
We
actually.
do have
I was going to
a
say, Jeff.
representative
yeah.
online.
Oh, Mr. Toller's on, okay.
Hi, this is Jeff Thaler. I'm not Manly Thaler, that's my father.
Right,
So, thank you. And just so you know, I can't answer the question as to why the 10 years was not in that declaration. My father actually just turned 96 today. He's still alive, but he's got full-blown Alzheimer's, so he cannot speak to any of this. But, we appreciate Attorney French's efforts as well to get at this. And I think Mike Scott can speak to this, during the pandemic, because it was difficult to rent to anybody during those days. So there was an effort to rent to some people under 55 in order to keep the building as full as possible. But the vast majority of people in the building now are 55 and over. And that's still the goal as we move forward.
And if they did want a change, they would have to come back as an amendment to the special permit. So that this is in no way trying to change the conditions of the special permit. We're just
Right.
trying to.
No,
No,
it's
the
just
error
to
that we've seen
correct,
previously. Yeah.
yeah, it's just to correct, as Attorney French said, the oversight or error, and to put into the declaration the 10-year restriction.
Right, so I think, regardless, we need to fix it. I don't think we're going to vote on anything tonight. I do, Lisa, if you can look back through your notebooks.
yeah,
I'll look
I'll
back.
see if I can find anything.
Luckily, at one point, I don't know, I was bored over, I don't know, some period of time, and I decided to go through all the documents I had, organize them by year. No, organize them by year on a gigantic bookshelf, so should be relatively easy for me at least to find.
I have notebooks, or
Yeah.
I saved, no, I got rid of stuff.
So, yeah, I think, I don't know what the process is, you know, if we come back and we say.
It was minutes,
"Oh, yeah."
I sort of felt like I should,
Yeah.
need to save all this, I wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
save them all.
Natalie, what's the approach, you know, if we do come back at the next meeting, and we say, oh, yes.
So what I would
this
ask
supersedes
for,
what's
then
in-"
I'll reach back out to council, ask them to draft the approved minutes from April 11th, 2016 with the various, superseding and replacing
Yeah.
and the timeline, just so we have the final version of language, which greatly conforms to what was approved April 11th, 2016. I'll circulate that to you prior to the meeting, and then we can just vote to approve those.
Okay.
Yeah, and if we find anything in the interim, we can,
I honestly don't know if we will.
I don't know.
It's so long ago.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it's 10 years,
Yeah.
starting at 10 years
Yeah.
ago, I mean, golly. And there've been, I remember this whole, when we talk about the discussion, that kind of, some of the topics here were also the same discussion we had with Lansing Meadows, because it's, well, how do you control this, and blah, 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 about 55, and, well, what if somebody dies, and then do they have to kick them out?
I remember the discussion, oh, yeah.
I remember, but now I'm thinking, which one was it? I mean, a lot of this was in tandem.
And I mean, I can ask Mario if he has notes. I saw him the other day. I mean, I can reach out to him and see if he's got any. He was chair at the time, yeah. Okay. But either way, yeah, let's be prepared to, I mean, it's got to be corrected. So let's be prepared at the next meeting.
The other thing was, there was confusion at the time, because both parcels, both the mall and this CU Suites was Fowler property. And so signs were going up, and there was some confusion over there. It could be that there was some confusion there too with all of that.
Yeah.
Because, but as I understand it, that's no longer the case, that they're no longer
Correct,
owned by
they're
the
not.
same.
Right. Yep.
Okay, so even more reason to separate this out.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Jim or Kevin or Lorraine, any questions about, I know you weren't here and,
Thank God.
decade ago.
You were an alternate.
I was, yep. I had started in 2014, I want to say. So, yeah, it was a while ago.
Have you been, were you 2014?
I think it was 2014.
2010, right? Yeah, I was 20.
Yeah, it was sometime, it was right before we built the house on Norway. So, yeah, that's how I got roped into this, by the way.
Walk down.
I didn't have, if I had had to go to the BZA to get their approval, I might have gotten roped into BZA, but it was a cluster subdivision, so the planning board could grant the approval that I was looking for, and there you go.
To our benefit.
So Jeff, I'll reach out to your council tomorrow, and we'll do next step.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. I'm also an attorney, so happy to help move this along and get it done.
Wonderful.
Well, great, thanks for coming, Jeff. I know it's been a long time, but at least maybe we can piece something together with everybody that was there at the time and the notes that we have on paper.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I think Attorney French's idea of rescinding and superseding makes sense, and it'll be fairly straightforward and simple.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. Great, we appreciate it. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Okay, next, so the one thing that is not on the agenda tonight, just because we know we had these other bigger items, was the code revision. So let's see what's on the next, or the chart of use revisions. We have to get Mike's stuff still, I think.
Yeah.
We should probably, you and I should probably regroup anyway, but, so we will.
Sent our stuff to him.
Okay, never mind. Well, we can still regroup if you want.
Gotten it.
But so we will get that on the next agenda if we have time. I don't want to push it, but obviously there's some other things that we have to take care of. So, but the next item on the agenda is the trustee report. Kevin.
Well, I managed to attend my first trustee meeting, although it was remote. Have some personal things going on, so I apologize if this isn't as thorough as I wanted.
There's some other people here that might be able to fill in, like, I don't know, Lisa watched it, a trustee, for example. So
it began with them talking about the additions to the local law, the public hearing, and the suggestions that the planning board sent to them to amend the law. Ronnie had asked, the mayor had asked for discussions, talked about tacking on safeguards, and the drive-through suggestions, the 60 occupancy, all the things that we had talked about. And then they decided, because we have the second version, to cancel the public hearing and set the new one for the 20th. Then the mayor read a note into record speaking to his opinion that we were going to look for perfection and make it the enemy of the good. And we were going to scare with the developments, and that he would vote no against any additional conditions. And they scheduled a new public hearing. Carolyn defended the planning board's ideas and that we were discussing things, and I even chimed in to say that some new things had come up we hadn't even thought about in our last meeting. So that was about the end of that discussion. And then there was a presentation of the solar array. It's going to cover parking lot spots. I apologize, I don't remember exactly.
Oh, where was that?
It was at the Cornell Business
Oh,
Park.
right, yep, the health department, that's right, yeah.
55 Brown Health Department.
Yeah, it's over near the airport, yep.
And that's on Cornell property, and they need a letter from the county. There'll be no project review. And then they spoke about the design guideline review for the village aesthetic. And wanted to, I don't know how far that went about putting a team together to talk about the village aesthetic. Discuss some Cornell students maybe starting a project, take a look at some of the design guidelines. There's also talk of, I don't know who it was, Lot 9, contact a homeowner to add a easement for a trail to connect part of the other trails.
Wait, the
Where,
proposed trail on, what's it, it's covered,
oh, Coventry Way?
yeah.
Coventry Way it was.
Up the other side of Audrey Edelman and around to connect to the East Point Trail. And then we need an easement across a particular lot and then connect down the Janivar trails. So we'll create a new 1 mile loop. There's a meeting with the homeowners on Wednesday at 11.
There was some other talk about the Greenway Committee, Shannon Park Pollinator Gardens, trees and being trimmed at Overlook Park, cutting back mowing in different parts. Using some grant money to do pollinator gardens in the 2 parks, Shannon Park and Ned Hickey. And also getting Mike Scott to enforce code violations for Trip Hotel, Imperial Buffet, and other empty businesses on Trip Hammer. That's all I got.
That was great, Kevin, those are better than what it takes sometimes, so thank you.
I encourage everyone to watch the meeting.
I
There
already
was a
did.
lot.
I did.
I did.
Okay, other business. Lorraine, you go first, I'm not gonna steal one from you.
I don't have anything.
Oh, my God.
Lorraine, are you okay?
Let the minutes record that there was no, Lorraine had no comment.
You'd say something about Ross.
I was away all weekend. I didn't even get to go because I wasn't here, so, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, Sunday afternoon, as I was driving home, I was stopped at Squeaky Clean to wash my car first, and I'm like, why are all those cars in the parking lot?
I saw,
And I was like, oh.
There's an awful lot of cars.
Yeah.
Oh, they must be open. Now open. There you go. Yeah, but even, I've driven past a couple times, so I drive past all the time, but that's.
Yeah, I mean, I was over there today, over to Aldi this morning, the parking lot was packed, people were pulling in. Lisa today, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're out, all this business in.
I wonder how the traffic light thing is gonna work, because coming out of there is not so much, something's gonna happen, you can see.
What are you referring, you talking about for
When you,
pedestrians?
like, whenever I go to Ace.
You're sitting there in your car, sometimes
Coming out.
it's a little
It's
lengthy.
not only, lengthy, not only that, but when you can turn right to go north, people are walking. Somebody, I'm waiting, I'm just waiting.
It's always been an issue there, though.
I know, it's.
Any close calls, but.
But we'll see. But I'm glad that mall has basically filled up.
Yeah, I mean, other than Big, I mean, there's some, no, Big Lots is empty.
Oh, Big Lots, I keep
Big Lots.
about Big Lots.
Next to the veterans.
And the old Builder's Best building.
Right.
corner.
Oh, right. And
Isn't there an empty space, Mike, next to the veteran?
Yeah, that carve out that they,
Yeah, small.
extra piece, that's still.
But I saw on, as little as I do, next door, somebody sang the praises of Kingston.
What?
There's what?
It's open, apparently.
Oh, I think it's the,
You had mentioned that.
Lisa, I think it's the owner that's been posting on that.
Probably, I wondered.
I saw it last week and I was like,
I think they're open, though.
That's a great name for Jamaica.
But I also
You had some.
recently got something about, it was something about in Ithaca, places to go, was it for soup? It was like a Yelp or, what is Yelp the right thing? And one of the places that got a lot of stars was Ole Ole.
oh,
People were, and a fair number of people had responded and said, so
so I,
coming along a little bit on some of these.
so I hope, so Ole Ole, I stopped in there a couple Fridays ago. It was like 6 o'clock. There was only like 2 people at a table when I walked in there. I just got it to go, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's Friday night at 6 o'clock and there's like nobody in here. Then I just noticed they're closed on Mondays now. They just started that, being closed on Mondays due to staffing issue. But I hope they're not getting hurt by other businesses. And I know that the other place next door, or 2 doors down,
The steak.
The old
Yeah.
Applebee's?
that place was packed that night that I stopped over to Ole Ole.
Wait, the old.
At Applebee's?
The old Applebee's?
Sewer.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, Mitzi, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that place was hopping. The parking lot was like packed over there.
Wait,
just
which
for the-
place?
I
It used to
can't,
be the hibachi, it used to be.
yeah.
It's next to Applebee's.
Yeah, it was right next to Applebee's, or it is right next to Applebee's.
Japanese
But maybe
places.
Ole Ole does more takeout. I don't know. Maybe they do a lot of takeout.
He does have, Chris does have they have another franchise of that in Cortland, so I don't know whether he flips back and forth.
Oh, that's right, when he came to present, I remember he said that they had the one up in Cortland too, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Yuri House.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. It's been there for years, yeah.
I know you said you had nothing, but anything else?
No.
Jim?
Was there some talk about a restaurant going into where the Peking restaurant used to be last, a couple meetings?
That's the key.
That's the.
That's the Kingston Jamaican.
What's a Jamaican place?
Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yep.
When are they supposed to open?
I guess they're,
I think they might be.
Open.
maybe now?
I don't know. Have to check.
I think they're open. Somebody's been posting on Nextdoor since early last week that the food is really great, so.
Oh, they're open, there you go.
Oh, Mike, did you?
Mike says they're open.
Are they good? Is it good?
I have top 30.
Oh,
I will though.
Is,
I'll have to remember that, check it out. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Question's been bugging me for a while, is the crosswalk on Dart Drive. We've nearly been hit, I don't know how many, countless times trying to cross the road. Is there any plan to put a sign that says crosswalk or pedestrian or something, so at least people see there's a crosswalk there? It's right before the bridge.
right before the bridge.
And the
yeah, it's right before, the path that goes down to.
Oh, that one,
Lots-
yes.
it- And I know what you're saying, because,
Yeah, Kevin, I'll bring this up, I'll ask on Courtney on Thursday this afternoon.
Could I add on to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you done? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
So I think the signage also, Oak Crest where it hits Cayuga Heights Road. First of all, somebody took out a tree earlier this year, but the other day, I don't know when it was, 2 weeks ago, I noticed yet again skid marks and somebody went into the shrubbery. People coming down Oak Crest are not stopping, they're just going straight into.
All the way across, you guys?
Yes. And so something, I don't know whether we need to have, well, of course, if they hit bollards, they'll kill themselves. At least these people are not killing themselves, I guess. But something about the signage as they are approaching, because there's.
Stop ahead kind of thing?
There is one stop ahead already, but I don't know whether it's not prominent enough. And then, they dip down and then they just don't stop.
Okay, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, we need to take a look at that, because there was another evidence of somebody going through. And there is kind of a streamy area over there where it does sort of drop off. Somebody could get into a real jam one of these days. But I think we got to look at something there. I don't know what.
Okay, what else?
Nothing that I can think of. I don't feel prepared today.
to find an email, and I can now not find it. Natalie, I'm gonna find it.
I touched base with Eric Getzman's attorney regarding the spray paint. He spoke with Eric, he says that it will be fixed this week. You'll see. But he's been made aware that the village is taking it seriously.
Good, because I think that if we take this seriously, although I think it's going to be unpleasant for our code enforcement officer and whatnot, maybe it's costly that if we set an example with at least one, people might start to get an understanding then when we go to another one that we are serious about this. I know it could be, the transition could be tough, but I think this is crazy.
Yeah, he shared that, you know, if Chris's plan go through, it'll be demolished. I said, well, we don't want to wait for it to be demolished.
No, we don't.
So he needs to follow the notices.
And it's, who knows, that's one.
Yeah. But I did speak with him.
Because he still does own that property.
Yes.
Water Sprite does.
That's all I have.
Mike?
A couple things. I'll continue to work with Chris and Lindsay on what they spoke about tonight. Just for the record, Chris was aware of all three of the possibilities of conditions for that, as far as having a buffer.
Contiguous and everything.
And I spoke about a possible plan of having a center area that would have possibly the stormwater facility and include some type of greenery coming along with the stormwater facility, and then not be contiguous property. So I'll continue to talk to him about that. Tomorrow, I told him we'll have a conversation tomorrow. I will speak with Lindsay, and I will go out again on the site, and maybe I can take a couple photos from both Autumn Ridge and East Shore Drive, just to give you an idea of how far back and how secluded that array will end up being. I had got an email back, I sent it over to Carolyn. I did hear back from Dan Holmick, who owns the Trip Hotel. The reason I had contacted him was Carolyn had suggested getting together a committee of local business owners to try to see what would be helpful to increase bringing businesses in the village. And so we kind of wanted to get on a committee, or at least a soundboard or something of local owners that could say, hey, look, it'd be nice to have this, or we're doing this wrong, or something like that. At the same time, he had also, I had also asked him about the future of the Trip Hotel, and he wrote in an email that he's serious, I think it was he's seriously looking to open up by at least 2026, but he has a hard time finding employees and whatnot. That's what he told me. He's looking to do a little renovation on the roof and that type
A
of
little renovation.
So,
It's like,
The pseudo.
the other last thing would be, I think I mentioned at the last meeting, there's a possibility of farther up towards Lake, across from Lake Watch, of another larger solar array. This one would, from what I'm seeing, this one could be classified as a tier 3.
Wow.
It's a much larger array that'll spread, it's more of a commercial array that'll spread from parcels that are, one parcel is in the village into the town itself. It looks rather large, but they just wanted to know what the requirements were, the business folks I spoke with, so.
do we know what the town of Lansing has for solar?
Yes, they have their own solar law.
So then it would be our solar law, their solar law, and the state, because it's
Is
tier
this-
3
Is
potentially.
this one also, part of Autumn Ridge is in the village and some is not, but this is all in the village, this one.
Yeah.
Because that was going to slow something down.
On the GML 239 for.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought, but when you said that, I thought, oh geez.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious if, when you're driving up Autumn Ridge, if you're going to be able to see that solar panel. You won't be able to see?
I don't think so.
I-
Just knowing the terrain, I don't
Yeah,
think
it
so.
did, because I mean, I'm right around the corner from that.
Obviously, the winter would be different than the summer, but.
Yeah, there were trees there, and that will be the backside, so it won't be the flat. They will.
And they'll be facing,
They'll be
Yeah.
seeing like the
Yeah.
back of the bleachers look.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll see with the sightlines and everything.
Yeah, it would be easier to see, because it was really hard to see on that blurry picture.
Yeah, no,
It was too like, yeah.
And the last thing, that array that's on top of the carport at 55 Brown, might be able to learn something from that, because if that happens to be, let's say the mall ends up doing the same thing, which would be perfect, we have this
Yes.
height restriction, we might want to address that, or just address it if something ever happens to that, you know, I mean, they would need a
Area
variance.
variance.
How high was the one over it?
It's 13 feet.
The point was, Lisa, that they can't get a plow underneath it.
If it's only,
The restriction that we have now, which I thought actually would be great to, like Mike said, put solar over parking.
Yeah.
In which case we need to raise it 2 feet
oh,
to allow for.
well, and why,
When we originally spoke about it, we were talking, okay, let's say the mall puts solar panels on top of the building.
right,
But, you know, you see more and more now of carports being built.
well, yeah,
For the reason.
kind of nice.
Common sense.
But what's 13 feet, what's the 13 feet restriction?
I'm going by what I thought I remembered it, 13 feet height.
Whatever our code is, they needed 2 more feet to clear the plow.
Oh, yeah, well,
So
what's
we
two,
would have, I don't remember. you-
I was gonna say-
Contemplating carport.
oh, it's a carport restriction, sorry, I don't think we've ever had a,
Never had a carport.
so did we add that to our code list?
Just might be something to look at.
55 Brown does not need us to approve their.
No, but I'm
if it
just
comes to
saying-
us, they could always get an area variance too,
Right,
if we want more.
That's all.
I thought of something else, but I did find the email that I was looking for, everybody's favorite.
oh, education?
It's the end of the year, coming up quick
No,
here.
Joe already told me.
Okay, so she did, okay.
She usually emails everybody. I haven't gotten.
So I emailed her the other day.
Just told
and
me.
She emailed me back, so I told her I would bring it up. So she said that, okay, well, when did she email you?
She didn't email me, I happened to drop in and ask her
Oh,
about
okay.
something else. She says, oh, by the way, I said, oh, I know what you're gonna do.
So, well, I'm good, Lorraine's good, Kevin's good, Jim, you need 4,
I think 3.
maybe 3 now. She said you need 4, Lisa, and she didn't get your
She
certificate.
said I need 1 for this year and
Oh.
4 starting for next year.
Oh, okay, my email's different, but
I only,
I'll forward it to you.
What's your deadline? What's
because
the
I remember
deadline?
End of the calendar year.
Oh, okay, yeah.
one earlier this year, one or if not 2.
Follow up with her, because she said you still need 4, so maybe she either doesn't have the certificate from you, or,
I sent it, but is she sending emails to the Village of Lansing org address?
no, this is just something she'd sent to me the other day, and I told her I'd bring it up at the meeting tonight. But reach out to her.
I haven't figured out how to,
Yeah.
I saw the email instructions, but I haven't sat down to figure out how to get into
So
that.
that was the other thing that I thought about, is everyone should have gotten an email for your Village of Lansing email.
I can answer this. None of us got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I reached out
Jim
to,
did, or not?
no, he didn't either.
Oh, okay.
He just said that he did.
No,
Oh.
I'm talking about an email with instructions on how to access Village of Lansing org.
Did you get
I
it?
got that.
Okay.
I
And
did.
I thought, oh, this is gonna take some time to sort through, and made a mental note to do it somewhere in the future.
I never got the very first.
So I never got it.
Okay.
And Lisa said she never got it.
Okay.
But I emailed Ronnie
Ask
directly.
her to send it out to everybody when I see her.
I did request that you all get them, though, so clearly it worked for
Well,
Jim, but maybe not.
I haven't,
When, Kevin?
I didn't get it, but I emailed him, he sent it to me, I didn't see
Okay.
I have
it in
taken
time
no
and it
action, I'm
expired.
waiting to.
emailed Ronnie. I emailed Ronnie directly, and he helped me, because then I didn't know that he had changed the email addresses and took the period out between our first and,
Oh, okay.
which I
Oh.
didn't know. But yes, he has removed the period. So like for Lisa, it's L, Sheeling,
Like,
and
I just done Baker.
Epigrossi, there's no dot between the L and my
Okay.
C.
Okay.
Anyway, he helped me, and I'm all set.
Okay.
But
I
I
have
didn't
not.
get anything either.
I haven't delved into it, so I have no idea what to do yet.
Well, if you need help, if you haven't gotten the email, email Ronnie. And if you need help, let me know. I can help you, Ronnie can help you. I said that I'm gonna help Carolyn.
And Lisa, I already told you I'd help you.
yes,
I got a comment.
Last thing, I wanted to thank our special guest, Brent Cross.
Oh.
It's been a while, Brent.
Seen Brent so long. And we'll
Yeah.
probably, next meeting, Brent, I'm not sure, but I appreciate you coming
we
by.
finally got some stuff for him,
I
yeah.
know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, thank you for having me.
I did, I talked to Ronnie before the planning board meeting, two other things. One, I did talk to Ronnie about the planning board meeting, before the trustee meeting last time, just to make sure that he had everything from us for the meeting, because I know Natalie asked, and they said, yep, you got it all the next day. And then I also did pass along a recommendation to appoint Soledad as the alternate planning board member for the meeting on the 20th, because I knew they had a lot to talk about, and I was, Soledad and I were emailing back and forth, so, yep.
Okay.
So that, that's on the agenda for the 20th. That's all I got. Any other final comments? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn at 8:25 PM.
So moved.
Motion by Lisa.
Second.
Second by Lorraine, all in favor? Aye. Thanks, everybody.